So my name is Winter. This video is called, and I want to show it to you. Let me pull up. You're okay. So what it's about to say about Mars is what the video is called anyway. But why do I? So what is about to say about Mars? And I'm talking about the planet called Mars anyway, since the planet, yeah. Now, obviously, the planet Mars doesn't look like this. It looks like this, really, because Mars is the red planet, really. Okay, and yeah, we can talk about what Mars is called in other languages. But first, let's talk about people. There's people that want to colonize the planet Mars. So we done. So yeah, you can see is yeah. I'm done talking about holidays now. I'm done talking about Halloween and Halloween stuff. I talk about Thanksgiving. I'm done talking about Christmas and Christmas stuff already, I guess. So now I'm getting to back to planets again, and this time talking about the planet Mars. Okay. So what is Mars? Well, why do people want to colonize Mars? Well, let me Google that to make sure. Because first of all, it's going to take 6 months to do that. So people want to colonize Mars. They want to do that in 2050. But they said colonization of settlement of Mars, a human migration long-term settlement of Mars, have received assist of public agencies and private corporations, essentially exploring science fiction, writing, film, and art. So people think about colonizing. So people think about colonizing Mars around 2050. Now, do you know how old I gotta be in 2050? Well, 54. No, sorry, 56 years old. That's how old I'm gonna be in 2050. 56. So I'll still be an adult. I'm just not be old yet anyway. I'm gonna stay here on this earth, even at 2050, even at the year of 2050. So look, guys, if you want to colonize Mars, go ahead, okay? But I don't know if Mars can be colonized in 2050. So if you believe it, if it's not, you can tell me in the comments below. You know, to me, I really don't care if it gets colonized or not anyway, because it's not even habitable for humans anyway. Mars is not habitable for humans anyway. And to me, I feel comfortable here on Earth anyway. If I want to visit Mars, I'll just want to visit it just to explore it and go back to Earth maybe. But I don't know. I don't think I want to live on another planet because I feel very comfortable here on Earth. I'll stay here on Earth anyway. I'm gonna have to block this guy when I get around to it. I'll block this guy soon, okay? But right now, let's get into what Mars is called languages first. So Mars in Spanish is Marte. I can, if you want me to prove that to you, I can show it to you. And if you don't know, I'll prove it to you from Google Translate, okay? About Mars. Mars in Spanish is Marte.
Marte.
Okay? It even says in Google Translate. Now Mars, in French, it's spelled the same way in English, but it's spelled the same way it is in English. I'm not sure how it's pronounced.
Mars.
Okay, so Mars is still called Mars in French. So Mars is still called Mars in French. Not changed there. But we get to Mandarin though. That's when it sounds different.
火星.
Okay. So Hoshing is how to say Mars in Mandarin. I know I'm not saying it correctly, but anyway, but
كوكب المريخ.
yeah, but that's a Marif, yeah, that's Mars. In Arabic anyway. Let's get to now let's find out how to say Mars and okay. Let me type the word Mars again.
Kase.
Kase is how to say Mars in Japanese. Now last one.
화성.
Hasong is how to say Mars in Korean. Okay, that's how to say Mars in Korean. Now let's go let's go read about Mars, okay? Okay, so the solar system, Mars. You know, the next.
Here, William. You're better at these things than Daniel is.
Thank you, Mom. Okay, it's this right here. So although Venus is called it's called Earth's sister due to the similar size of two worlds. The planet that appears most Earth-like at the surface, undoubtedly Mars, a solid rocky world. Mars is over half the size of Earth in diameter, but appears to be vivid of the red star, or 9 times sky, given the rise of its nickname, the Red Planet. There's no This is no illusion. The surface of Mars, comprised of its sides, composed of iron, essentially rest. This is amazing planet. Its properties of challenging, sacred ideas confirm biblical creation. Similarities to Earth, make a target facilities of space colonization. However, stark differences between the two planets should adapt in such hallucination. Now, the surface of Mars. Geographically, Mars has features strikingly comparable to these on Earth, with mountains, valleys, canyons, volcanoes, and polar ice caps. Mars has some weather similar to Earth's, including seasons, clouds, fog, wood, dust storms, dust devils, and occasional frost. Although liquid water is not found in any abundance on Mars, scientists discovered significant quantities of water ice near the poles, water vapor in the Martian atmosphere. Actually, the total rotation period of Mars is at the same of Earth. Okay, now Mars takes 25 hours and 37 minutes to rotate on its axis, almost identical to Earth. But you future visitors might find Sunday longer day enjoyable. They could sleep half an hour longer compared to their friends on Earth. They would be able to catch up with them. That the sun appears slightly smaller than it does on Earth because it will shine only have its brightness since Mars only appear further from the sun as a result. Long orbit, the Martian year equals 1.9 Earth years. Yeah, because it takes about 687 days for Mars to orbit around the sun. That's why. But in the atmosphere, composed of mainly carbon dioxide, Mars does not provide breathable environment for humans. In order to survive, future astronauts will have to wear spacesuits and build oxygen supplies when walking on the Martian surface. Okay, the spacesuits will also need to provide atmospheric pressure and temperature necessary for human life. Because of force of gravity, it's only 38% of that on Earth. Walking on Mars will take some practice, but by comparison to astronauts, by the moon experience of force, gravity is only 17% of what is normal on Earth. In the daytime, visitors of Mars experience a bright sky, though they're not as bright as Earth's. The color of the Martian sky is complex, often blue, very exactly as seen season of Earth sky is blue. The molecules in the atmosphere of scattered wavelengths blue, and many of the wavelengths red, and the Martian sky is deeper, darker blue, partly because of lesser sunlight of Earth, also because atmosphere, and that's additional. When one kicks up the dust of planet's red surface, and Martian sky can also appear to be orange. Martian seasons. Due to the sectoral tilt to Earth, 25.2 degrees, Mars experiences 4 seasons. Observers on the planet's surface will see the sun high in the sky in the summer and low in the sky in winter, and would experience the same amount of sun exposure, and they would compare by latitudes on Earth during these seasons. Seasons on Earth have resulted axial tilt, not the changing distance of the sun, Earth's elliptical orbit. This is also true for Mars. However, the orbit of Mars is significantly more elliptical than Earth's, which causes the distance for the sun to change according to the of the seasons. So even though, like Earth, Mars is closer to the sun during the northern hemisphere, and far away during the northern hemisphere summer, and the great distance of the creation of the experience of the northern hemisphere summers, and when the elliptical orbit at the seasons. Okay, let's see. Okay, excluding of its seasons. Okay, observing of its seasons. Even though on Earth, Mars is closer to the northern hemisphere, winter far away is during the the northern hemisphere of summer. Figures are different. The great distance of Copernicus sites of Greece of New Age actually experience of northern hemisphere summers, while the elliptical or body effects of the seasons over the Mars it is seasons. Seasons are as extreme in the northern hemisphere than its southern hemisphere. Well, let's go take a look at Mars of the Mars seasons because so they're saying that Mars have seasons. Well, let's go take a look at that because I think I have in my seasons folder. Not that seasons for Earth, but I'm looking for seasons for Mars though. Hmm. That I have it over here anyway. Okay, well let's go see because I do that's for Uranus, but that's not for Mars. All right, well let me go type it on Google and I'll show it to you. Okay, so let me go to a Google and let me type a photo about seasons on about the seasons on Mars. Okay, because I basically don't have it on my computer. Okay, I'll type. Okay, Martian seasons. Okay, Martian seasons. That's it. I think I already have download 9 already, but let's go take a look and see. No, I don't. Okay, so you can see is that okay, so the southern hemisphere of Mars is hotter and colder. As you can see right here, see? Because this is the perihelion of Mars. Right here. So the southern hemisphere gets hotter and colder on Mars. Well, the northern hemisphere doesn't. So that would be it would be summer in the south, and then northern winter on the very close to the perihelion on Mars. And then it would be it would be some of the northern hemisphere and summer and then winter in the southern hemisphere on the aphelion of Mars and on the aphelion of Mars. Because this is the perihelion, this is the aphelion right here. So okay, attention. Mars has polar ice caps are visible Earth, and using a small telescope, the ice caps grow during the winter of respective hemispheres and shrink during the summer. Just like the polar ice caps on Earth, the polar ice caps are water ice, and Mars ice are mostly water ice layered underneath several feet of frozen carbon dioxide dry ice. So Mars tomography, and then this is talk about the land of Mars. Okay, Mars is flat, very flat. Most of the surface is simple as deserts we have on Earth, with rocks as far as eye can see at very little relief. Though that are hills and numerous mountains, and they have gentle slopes that make significant peaks on Earth. For example, Olympus Mons is massive, extinct Martian volcano. It's actually the largest volcano known to exist, nearly 3 times as tall as Mount Everest. Okay, with the mountain that is at the border of Nepal and China. But let's keep reading. Yet, even though its base would have covered the combined states of Ohio, Indiana, and Kentucky. A mild emits of volcanoes exist on Mars, drifting towards of terrestrial counterparts. Most astronomers believe that all of these volcanoes are extinct on Mars correctly, essentially no geologic activity. One of Mars' typical features is a canyon called Valles. Okay, Marineris is long enough to reach from one end of the United States to the other of 120 miles, of 140 miles deep. For comparison, this is 10 times longer, and 7 times wider, 4 times deeper than the Grand Canyon. Valles Marineris is thought to be a tectonic fissure, a place where the surface is cracked open. Okay, scientists have been intrigued to learn the surface of Mars. Has tried river beds and deltas, though it is essentially no liquid water on the planet today. Evidence that clearly suggests that Mars once had surface water, but such evidence, especially presenting light, flattens the atmosphere. Water can only exist as a liquid between surface temperatures under sufficient atmospheric pressures. The atmosphere of Mars is far too thin. Allow water to be liquid and enough time to be at any temperature. Heating the ice cube on Mars would cause it to sublimate, not melt. That is, the ice would go directly to vapor, bypassing the liquid state entirely. Frozen carbon dioxide behaves the same way under Earth's atmosphere. So was the atmosphere of Mars different in the past? Or was water released constructively, boiling away almost immediately? Could volcanic eruptions increase atmospheric pressure, local to the point where local water can exist temporarily? Well, these are mysteries of being unsolved. Nobody is a secularist, I believe in catastrophic scale flooding on Mars, a planet that cannot support liquid water, yet simultaneously deny the Genesis flood on Earth, and a planet that is 71% covered with water. Now, we can talk about the Martian moons. The 2 moons of Mars are quite tiny compared to Earth's moon, but that's because they're asteroids, that's why. Phobos is larger than the 2, only the 10 miles in diameter, and since Phobos is a little mass, its gravity is minuscule. In fact, you can pick up a baseball and toss it around the orbit of Phobos, and you'll throw it just right, it might turn back and catch, and it completed a loop. Deimos is another Martian moon, has a diameter of only 8 miles, more like a large boulder's orbiting Mars. Neither Phobos nor Deimos is spherical. It is common that with small moons and asteroids, since the gravity is insufficient to overcome the mechanical bonds and prevent these bodies from collapsing into a spherical shape. Okay, Phobos and Deimos have very circular orbits, might quite near the Martian surface. Phobos orbits an unbelievably close to distance only 3,700 miles above the surface, closer to any moon of its planet. 2. Stand on the little world of Phobos and look up the surface of enormous Mars would be truly a spectral light. This velocity to Mars, combined with Mars' gravity, means that Phobos orbits very quickly, and in only 7 hours and 39 minutes, and this moon is complete one orbit. The great distance of away than the surface. Deimos takes over 30 hours to complete one orbit. Since Phobos orbits faster than Mars rotates, the observer on the Martian surface would actually see Phobos rising in the west and Deimos rising in the east, both very slowly, despite the fact that both moons orbit Mars in the same direction. While taking in a sacred perspective, the origin of Mars is complexing. While the once asteroids that have been captured by gravity of Mars, as many astronomers believe, this is possible, but it involves the great chains of effects. Moreover, compared to asteroids expected of an elliptical orbit, Mars moons orbit nearly perfect circles. But in many aspects of the universe and with the creative density, the Lord seems at the explanation of this puzzle. While posing challenge for natural processes, the creation of unique moons that design orbits, no problem for God. Martian opposition. Outer planets have beyond the Earth's orbit. It has been viewed through the telescope when Earth passes them in the sun. It's because the outer planet has been close to the further as it could be, but it's fully related by sunlight and it's high in the sky around midnight when the sky is the darkest. During such a configuration, and the outer planet will be opposition because it is the opposite the sun, but most outer planets that still be large and bright, they're not opposition. This which happens once per Earth year. Mars is an exception to both of these generalities. Because it is so small, the planet only looks bright and large in a telescope for a month of around opposition. And unfortunately, because of the orbital period of nearly twice as long as Earth's, Mars position only happens in the average of once every 2.1 years, so don't miss it during opposition. Mars is only very close to Earth, which is why it looks so good, appearing in a telescope 7 times larger and 50 times brighter than it does on the far side of the sun. Because contrast, Jupiter always looks about the same size and brightness, whether in out of its opposition. Because it is a large planet, it is slightly closer to Earth than the other times. Not all of Mars' position are equal. Since its orbit is quite elliptical, and stable positions bring a planet much closer to Earth than others. Mars can appear nearly twice as large favorable positions than favorable ones. In fact, August 27, 2003, Mars and Earth came close together as they have 34.6 million miles, about the closest possible for these two worlds. This is wonderful telescopic views of Mars. Additionally, it is only when Mars is near position of the moons. Phobos and Deimos are visible under dark and conditions of the undersized backyard telescope, even if it could be challenged. The problem is that it does not so much, and these Mars are faint. Backyard telescopes can receive stars significantly fainter. These are so close to Mars, which is 200,000 times brighter and covers under its glare. The best way to see Phobos and Deimos is with the telescopes so the moons are within the field view of Mars is just beyond it. Mars and Earth possesses great similarities and vast differences. This is yet a mark of the creativity of the Trinitarian God of Scripture. God Himself, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, embodies multitude of characteristics diverse and yet unified. In the same way of the planets, while not one and the same, have unique variations presenting they all encompassing endless. Should the Creator provides all of His forms, indeed evidence has been Him clearly seen by has been made, even in His eternal power and Godhead. That's in Romans chapter 1, verse 20. If you want to read to read that, if you want, to read that in the King James Bible, King James only anyway. But I want to show you how to get saved according to the Bible. So that's where you have to get saved, okay? So this says point of evolution is a damn souls to hell, and also the point of the flat earth is a damn souls to hell as well. And the great evidence before Lord Jesus Christ, salvation is by faith alone and grace of Jesus Christ alone. And once you are saved by each minute of truth, meaning and you can't lose your salvation as ever. I mean, each minute that everything is easy to do is just believe on Jesus Christ for salvation. So I'll be I don't know. Well, what the next video is there life on Mars? Well, my answer would be no, but I'll talk about that next video. Well, I believe there isn't. Well, I'll talk about that next video, okay? Because I gotta go right now. But thank you for watching this video. Be joyous. Bye.